Da-na-na, na-na-na. We have a Bears trade alert here on a Monday night. Welcome to Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Whenever news comes in, we hit you with the video, so please subscribe for daily free Bears content. All right, remember the name Ryan Bates? You probably do. The Bears have traded a fifth-round pick for Ryan Bates with the Buffalo Bills. Guard center hybrid. If you remember that name, 2 off seasons ago, Ryan Poles' first full off season as this team's general manager, he signed Ryan Bates to a 4-year, $18 million contract offer sheet. Bates was a restricted free agent with Buffalo at the time, and the Bills matched that offer, and the rest is history. He's been the last 2 years with Buffalo. I remember Poles was kind of bummed that the Bills matched that contract offer sheet, and now 2 years later, he ends up in Chicago anyway. And I got a lot of reaction to this move because this has been primarily a backup. And look, I know a fifth-round pick is probably just a backup anyway, but the Bears now do not have a pick after the 5th round. They have the number 1 pick, the number 9 pick, 75, I believe, in the 3rd round, and 2 4th-round picks, their own plus Philadelphia's. That's it. They're down to 5 picks now. Now, you have 2 in the top 10, so that obviously is really good capital, and you could trade down from 9 if you wanted to, get more picks, etc. But I find this move and the timing of this very, very interesting, and it makes me wonder a couple of things. One, is this strictly a backup? 2, do they view Bates as a potential starting center for this team? Or 3, is this a guy that competes with Nate Davis at right guard? Tevin Jenkins? Do you trade Jenkins or Davis and have Bates start? I don't know. This will be very, very interesting to see how the Bears view this, because you don't trade for this player unless at minimum you feel like he's a high-level backup. Now remember, the Bears cut Cody Whitehair, so they need some depth on that interior, even if it's not a starter. But I do wonder if there's something a little bit more here, or if this is strictly we just needed a backup, because I kind of like Ja'Tyre Carter. I think Ja'Tyre Carter could be a backup guard for you. He was on the 53 this year, had a good preseason, and played some occasional snaps here in the regular season. Now, maybe they just don't view him as a viable number 3 guard, and they felt like they had to make a move here. But again, remember, they signed this guy 2 years ago, and Buffalo matched it. So Ryan Poles, and I would assume Chris Morgan as well, the offensive line coach, have had their eyes on this guy for quite a while. Now, before I dive into this further, voice starting to crack here. I've just started to get over this illness, and now the voice is starting to go again. Try to battle through here. Grade this trade. A, B, C, D, or F. 5th-round pick for Ryan Bates. Drop a letter grade down in the comments, and after this YouTube ad break, I'm going to kind of explore those scenarios a little bit further. I'll give it a C letter grade on the surface. C, C+. I don't love giving up one of your only draft picks for a guy that on the surface could be a backup, but if he ends up being a starter, that grade could go up. Now, let's just kind of analyze what this guy has been in his career. Okay? In his Buffalo career, well, let's just rewind to a couple of years ago. So 2022 offseason when the Bears signed him to the offer sheet. Bates played in all 17 games. He started 4 for Buffalo, most of those late in the year. He was kind of an ascending player for the Bills, which led to him starting all 15 games the following season. Primarily he played at right guard. In fact, I got the snap totals right here in that 2015 season. He played 810 snaps at right guard, 135 at center. So started a few games at center, which I like having some center experience there. But then this year, strictly a backup. 0 starts, 35 total snaps, all at center. He was basically their backup interior guy. In 2022, his only full season as a starter, PFF grade 61.8 overall, 61.5 pass block, 59 run block. So, average player. Not great, not bad, average. Fringe starter type of player. That's kind of what you're looking at here. So again, you can look at it half glass empty, half glass full. This is a proven backup that you're giving up a 5th-round pick, whereas in the draft, 5th-round pick could be anywhere from you find a hidden gem that becomes a starter, that's the high end, or a guy that doesn't even make your 53. Usually somewhere in between. A guy who's going to be a backup, going to be on special teams. Well, at minimum, you're getting a good backup here, so that's the half glass full. Also, 2 years, $8 million left on his deal, $4 million per, so pretty cheap. If it's a backup, not too much money. If it's a starter, it's a hell of a deal. So I'm just trying to analyze this. I do wonder if it's that simple. Yeah, he's a backup. If he has to play, he can play. This is just a cheaper Cody Whitehair. Or is something else happening here? Could the Bears be exploring something more? Nate Davis last year, he had the familial death situation, which obviously led to him not practicing much in training camp, got him off to a slow start. Then he started to play better. Then he missed time with an injury, didn't play that well after the injury. Maybe this is just pure competition. Or do you cut or trade Tevin Jenkins or Nate Davis? Jenkins, the final year of his rookie contract. Davis, a player who has 2 more years left on his deal, but not that much guaranteed money left after this year. Do you try to flip him? Maybe. I can't imagine you'd get more than what you just gave up for Nate Davis. Maybe a 5th on the open market since he makes more money. Tevin Jenkins, day 2 pick. I'd rather not trade Tevin Jenkins. He's arguably your best offensive lineman when healthy. Now there have been health issues there. And check my phone here and make sure I'm not missing anything else here. No new updates. I don't know. If I had to guess, this is a high-level backup / competition for Nate Davis and insurance for Tevin Jenkins, who has an injury history. That's my guess. I don't know that for sure. I just got to think Ryan Poles is going to want to get more draft picks. This is a guy who believes in building through the draft. Again, they only have 5 picks right now. Now, 2 are in the first round. If they trade Justin Fields, that figures to fetch at least 1, if not 2 more. So that would help. But this is an interesting move. I think, let's just say he's a backup from left to right. Your offensive line looks like Braxton Jones at left tackle. They could draft someone at 9 to upgrade there. We'll see. Tevin Jenkins at left guard. We don't know at center. I guess Ryan Bates for now. I would like someone more proven personally. Nate Davis at right guard. Darnell Wright at right tackle. I mentioned Bates at center, but he's now your top backup offensive lineman. You've got Larry Borum as your swing tackle right now. You've got Jatiri Carter. That's kind of your top 8 right now. I would still like to get a better center. I haven't liked the patchwork options at center over the last few years, trying to make Cody Whitehair that. Sam Mustipher, all this shuffling, it hasn't worked. I would like someone more proven there. Maybe they view Ryan Bates as a starting center. Another option is maybe they bring in Bates as a veteran and they're going to draft somebody. Maybe they're going to draft someone in the 3rd, 4th round, and if he's not ready to start right away, you've got Bates who could start. I guess that's another option. It's interesting. It's certainly interesting. The good news is at worst, this is a quality backup. It's a guy who's played as a starter. He's plugged in at multiple positions as a backup. The unfortunate part of it is you're giving up one of your 6 draft picks. So we'll see. I'll be curious to see if we get more crumbs out of this. I'm just going to kind of scour Twitter real quick before I sign off and make sure I'm not missing anything here. While I'm doing that, let us know what you guys think. Is this a backup or a starting center? Type B for backup or S for S for starter. B for backup, S for starter. Let me know in the comment section down below how you guys view this. Now, Brad Spielberger kind of just threw this out. He could win the starting center job in theory, but I think he's your swing interior offensive lineman. Don't love giving up a 5th-round pick, but you can't really rely on Tevin Jenkins and Nate Davis at the moment. It's a fair point. Both guys have injury concerns. They're good starters when healthy for the most part. Nate Davis is a little up and down last year. Both have an injury history. If they don't think Jatiri Carter is ready to be that top interior backup, then you go get a more proven guy like Ryan Bates. Again, I don't hate it. C plus move. It's an upgrade over what you had. He's probably an upgrade over Cody Whitehair. He definitely is at the price. Okay, I'm lukewarm. I don't love it. I don't hate it. We'll see where it goes from here. Trade can't become official until March 13th, and plus pending a physical, start of the new league year. So that's when that'll become official. But the Bears have added Ryan Bates, a player they tried to sign 2 years ago. All right. If any more news drops, we'll have you covered. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on social media at HGramNFL on Twitter and Instagram for more coverage over there. Until then, bear down.